be able to invest time and essentially grow your agency so that you can accomplish your goals. So the vast majority of you are really not investing time into your future and kind of expecting things to change. And the question for me is, are you expecting it to just kind of happen accidentally, kind of by luck? So the vast majority of the time, what I hear and see happen is that at the end of the year, you end up looking back at the goals that you set for yourself for that year. And ultimately, you didn't reach them. And, some of you may even have stopped setting goals because there's so many times that you didn't meet them that there was no point in setting them anymore. And so ultimately, are you expecting a different result by doing the same thing? And what I would like for you to actually do as a commitment to yourself today is look to take your future into your own hands. The thing that I know to be true, and one of the things that actually Warren Buffett talks about all the time, is that focus was the most important thing for him, the most important factor for him to his success. And for me, the thing that I see happen a lot is that the vast majority of agency owners see this sort of thing, and this is how I view it versus how a lot of agencies, when they first start working with me, see the world, is that if I just work a little harder, then ultimately I'm going to have the success I'm looking for. If I just do a little more. And my opinion is if I actually just do a little less, I can have what I'm looking for. If I just focus a little more, then I can accomplish what I'm looking for. And so I want you to think about it this way, right? That if you were wanting and expecting to be able to have investment reward, but in, let's say, stock market or an annuity or anything in the financial market, but you expect that you're going to have that reward, but you never actually invested. That's an impossibility, right? So what we actually need to do is look at how we are investing our time, how we are spending our time, allowing for us to essentially be able to accomplish our goal. And so this is what I want you to be thinking about, right? Is that we are looking to be able to accomplish getting to our goal. And how do we actually do that? And the way that I think about it is that you actually break it down in time. So let's say that this is a 12-month goal. We're going to break this down into quarters. Our Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. What exactly we actually have to accomplish when actually having a definition of what we are looking to do in each period, allowing for us to be able to have that compound growth, actually being able to truly have that growth that we are looking for, being able to truly understand what it is that we are ultimately looking to accomplish, being able to actually have that scale. And so what I would like for you to do, and I'm going to actually open up the worksheet here and have you guys go through this with me. And the first thing that's ultimately really important while I just grab that sheet is understanding how and where you're actually investing your time. Where are you currently right now? And hopefully you're tracking time. And if you followed me for a while, you know that I'm a very big proponent around the concept of actually knowing your time and actually tracking time. And the goal here in this training is actually to allow for you to be able to regain some time. And we have, within the program, we actually have a specific system that we utilize to allow for you to be able to reclaim a minimum of 8 hours of time. The vast majority more than that every single week of time. And it's utilizing some aspect of this, but a lot more in depth. So what I want you to do is actually look at where you're setting your metrics for this, right? Is that in an overarching operationally, and I'm talking operations from team management to client management, all of that. In an ideal world, you need to be at less than 30% of time. In reporting and administrative, we need to be less than 10% of time. And for your sales, marketing, and growth, that we actually want to be at 60% or greater of time, allowing for us, equal or greater, allowing for us to ultimately be able to spend the time that we need in the area that we are actually needing to in order to be able to grow. Obviously, for many of you, you're far from this, being 90% focused on client deliverables and those types of things, and very limited, if any, time spent on lead generation and sales, aside from the people that come knocking on your door via referral or find you online. But how do we actually spend the time and invest our time? And again, as I was mentioning, you need to invest your time in order to be able to accomplish your goal. And so what I want you to do is actually look at time blocking to be able to actually put the time aside for you to be able to do these things, and recognizing ultimately what is accomplishable for you right now. So with this, what I want you to do is actually look at where you are and ultimately where you want to go, knowing that this is the ideal. May not be something you do tomorrow, may not even be something that you accomplish in the next 3 months or 6 months. Ideally, if we were to work together, we would get this accomplished much sooner, but recognizing what we can do in the next 90-day period of time. And so what I want you to do is determine what that percentage of time is going to look like. And then I actually want you within this sort of construct of actually entering your time of where you're going to be. So this is going to be, let's say the morning time is going to be sales and marketing on Monday. And we're going to do the same thing for Wednesday. And we're going to do the same thing on Friday in the morning time. And then in the afternoon time, we are going to do client and ops. And so we'll go ahead and copy that. So we're going to do that the rest of this time here. And then we're going to have a little bit of some admin time in the late afternoon. Every day. This is, again, not the ideal, but getting you closer to where you ultimately are needing to be. And I want you to actually plan it, that without a plan, you're never going to accomplish your goal. And why I want you to actually spend some time understanding where you're investing your time and what is going to be necessary for you to be able to accomplish that goal. Every single goal and initiative that I set for myself, and the same thing that I recommend for clients, is that understanding how much time is it going to take you to implement that initiative, that project, and putting it into your calendar, dedicating that time to yourself. The important piece to distinguish here, and that you may have heard me talk about before, is that I want you to think about this the same as client time. You or your agency is actually your own client. Making sure that you are treating it the same way that you would treat any other client. You wouldn't, for one other client asking for time, just say, I'm going to cancel this meeting or I'm going to move it around just unilaterally to fit in another client. But you're doing that with your own time, making a conscious choice to say no to yourself. And I want you today to make a commitment to saying yes to yourself, to saying yes to your future, investing that time into your future, investing that time into growth so that ultimately you can have the business that you're looking for. And I'd like for you to spend some time going through this and then putting the time for what you were focused on for this quarter into your calendar, dedicating that time, unchangeable, unadjustable, your most important client, yourself. If you have any questions, I know that this tends to bring up lots of situational questions of like, what do I do if this happens? What do I do if X, Y, or Z, or the entire alphabet of different potential things that may come up throughout the day? How do I manage this, Robert? If you have any of those questions, feel free to comment below or go ahead and shoot us a DM. We're absolutely happy to help and help streamline this for you so that ultimately you can have the time to invest into your agency. And at some point, should you feel that we were able to help, reach out to us so that we can actually help and get you to where you want to go, implement some strategies, some tools and techniques into your agency to allow for you to be able to utilize our scale method. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will